What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Personal Foul Podcast. I'm your host, Colton Gesser. Alongside me is my co-host, Phil. How the hell are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. The holidays are over, but there is one last holiday, which is why I still have my Christmas lights up. We have my big birthday bash coming up. The big party will be on Saturday night. Will you be attending, Colton?
I got to see what I'm doing Saturday, Phil.
Well, I know I'll have the Steeler game on here for you. I'll have it on both big
I will
TVs.
1,000,000% not be there watching the Steelers, so it'd either be before or it's after. Let's call it that.
Well, let's hope you come over afterwards. There will still be plenty of food and definitely plenty of drink. There'll be 2 fresh kegs here. We'll be drinking like men. Pierogies for the fire chief.
So we had a busy week around the NFL, Phil.
Yes, we did.
The season has come to an end. The playoffs are finalized, and we will be jumping right in. By the way, we'll have to clear some of that stuff up when it comes to Beat the Genius. So, are we done with Beat the Genius? Is the standings final now? Okay. All right.
When boys become men in the playoffs.
This is where Phil finally tries to pull his ass out of the dumpster.
Finally, I soar high like the eagle that I am.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh,
that is
you're wrong, Anvil. Colton does care.
Very valid. Thank you, Uncle John. Appreciate that.
I just have to say real quick, it is amazing that, 4 short months ago, when you were disgusted with me when I was drunk by my air conditioner going on and off, and it was so nice and warm out, we've come full way to the end of the season already. The NFL season goes by so fast. We've even added a week, and it's just amazing how quick the football season goes. We're in the playoffs, and then within a month, it's all going to be over with. And I'll be in Las Vegas celebrating. I can't wait.
Yeah, the NFL, time flies, man. The NFL goes by really fast. It comes and goes. It's crazy. So, but we are a year-round all sport topic show. So don't worry, we will not be going anywhere.
Nope.
But again, we're live. I'm just posting on our Facebook now that our show is live. Clearly, we have a few live people in here. We have Ray Trimble in there. Yes, we're going to pick every game of the playoffs with Pick'em, so that's what we shall do. Since Phil said that's what we were doing with Beat the Genius. I know Ray is really trying to get down. Oh, no, 1 month we have to talk about the pathetic NBA. Yeah, they're soft. My fantasy team is beat the shit, Phil.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. I've lost Ball. I've lost Irving. I've lost half my team. Yet I still compete because that's what warriors like myself do.
Oh, I know you.
There is no chance. There's no chance Colton is coming with us to Vegas, John. No chance. That's where men go.
Where the hell does it say anything about me going to Vegas?
Come for a live podcast to Vegas.
You must not be able to read then, clearly. But again, we'll work ourselves into the NFL here. We'll brush through a lot of the games because I want to talk more about the playoff matchups.
Yes.
But first, we'll start off the week with the firings. Doug Peterson fired about 45 minutes to an hour ago before we jumped on here. Antonio Pierce fired from the Las Vegas Raiders. Gerard Mayo fired out of the New England Patriots. So
that was surprising.
What, Gerard Mayo?
Yeah. So I guess Vrabel's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered going to New England. That's the only thing I could think of why they fired him so quick.
Yes, that is the rumblings that Mike Vrabel will be going to the New England Patriots. Patriots in a good spot. Looks like they have their franchise quarterback, and they're going to have a high draft pick. They did blow it. They had the number 1 pick, did blow it with beating Buffalo. But again, I think they're more happy they have their number 1 pick and that being correct, as in Drake May from this past season, looking like he is the future guy.
It's not like they're drafting a quarterback anyway. I mean, Hunter's going to fall to him. They'll take Hunter at 3, and he's going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone there because they desperately need a wide receiver and they desperately need a cornerback. So that's the
I don't know how that Travis Hunter thing's going to work out. I'm excited. Then we'll eventually get to the draft. That's what's nice.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at that down the road. But We had teams clinch the playoffs. That would be Denver with a nice no-show from Kansas City and Carson Wentz, just letting their AFC West rival just walk themselves into the postseason. Knew it was going to be a tough task for the Chiefs with no Mahomes. They get absolutely steamrolled. The Jets take care of the Dolphins. Texans take care of the Titans. Panthers win in a thriller. By the way, speaking of Carolina, I think they found their quarterback, man. You all shit talked to me in the auction league about Bryce Young. Oh, who cares about Bryce Young? Oh, no one wants Bryce Young. Blah, 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 blah. Fucking Bryce Young.
You keep him. You keep him, and you'll lose again next year.
Bryce Young has had himself a nice final 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he did.
To rejuvenate his franchise.
I'd take him over Stroud right now. That's for damn sure.
Didn't think you'd say that, did you, huh?
No, Carolina will beat the Panthers. And yes, Ray, we will divulge into our epic coaching when we beat the son of these other 9-year-olds.
And yes, Arnie Lauer, Carolina will beat the Panthers. The Colts win 26-23. We already mentioned the Patriots beating Buffalo. The Buccaneers, it seemed like for a while, forgot that they had to win to win that and win the division there for a while. So that was like enticing there in the 1 o'clock window. Because for a while, like I wasn't watching a lot of the 1 o'clock game, forgetting what I was doing Sunday. Well, all of a sudden, started seeing the scores. I'm like, did Tampa forget they got to win this game? Like,
and poor Arnie, his hopes got crushed because Atlanta was winning and Tampa was losing, and he was all fired up down here in the basement. And he actually thought his Atlanta Falcons were going to go to the playoffs, but reality hit Arnie right in the face, and Carolina beat the Falcons in overtime. That was shameful. Poor Arnie.
Seattle wins.
Yeah, and then he fell asleep for 3 hours.
Sure did. Chicago wins, which now sends – we'll get to it in a little bit. We'll give you all that later. We'll give you all the standings and where teams are going, WildCard Weekend. Broncos, we already mentioned that. Chargers win. Almost had themselves going to Baltimore. They win. They take care of the Raiders and send Antonio Pierce on his way out the door. Can't believe it. 49ers finished last in their division. A lot of question marks going to their offseason. We'll definitely talk on teams' off seasons after the football season. Because don't worry, football's a all-year-round thing, so we'll definitely talk on what futures it happens for these teams, especially the 49ers. There's a lot of question marks in San Francisco. They finished last in the NFC West, and the Detroit Lions take care of business, winning the division, getting the number 1 seed in the NFC, pretty much annihilating the Minnesota Vikings 31-9. Sam Darnold seemed like he was seeing ghosts, probably his worst game of the season.
Yeah, it was.
They lose 31-9.
And I know you Eagle fans aren't going to like this, but Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, is the MVP of the league. What a dominating performance he had. If you take Montgomery out of that backfield and give it to Gibbs all by himself, the insane numbers this guy would put up. He is so damn good. I mean, wow. And Montgomery might be back next week.
Yeah, so we'll get into that a little bit now here as the playoffs are starting this upcoming week. We have the college football playoffs starting. What is that? Is that Thursday or is that – it's Thursday, right? It starts?
I thought it was Friday. You could be right, though.
I thought there was a game Thursday. I might be wrong.
I know it was a bowl game. Might be the
all the bowls are done. All the bowls are done outside the college.
Oh, they are done. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then –
not it's Thursday. Notre Dame and Penn State Thursday, and then Friday, Ohio State, Texas. So we'll talk about that as well. But we're sticking on the NFL to start the show off, and we're going to take a look at the playoffs. We'll start off with the AFC and start off with the Saturday window, and that will be starting off with, I believe, the LA Chargers taking care of the Houston Texans. Chargers, Texans, 4:30 Saturday. What is your thoughts on the Chargers going into Houston? Texans struggling. It has been a weird season for the Texans with all the highs. You bring in Stephon Diggs. You get Nico Collins. You get Tank Dell back and healthy. This team, you think, could reach the Super Bowl. I certainly thought they could. Then you lose Diggs. The injuries on the offensive line. The offensive line's making C.J. Stroud look like rookie C.J. Stroud, which You never saw a rookie C.J. Stroud. He looks very good his rookie season. It's like you saw his rookie season this year with a sophomore slump from him. And you know what Harbaugh wants to do with the Chargers. It's defense, run the ball, and have Herbert make a few throws. I hate to take the low-hanging fruit. I think the Chargers walk all over Houston. Again, a team like the Chargers, that travels with their way they want to play football. That travels on the road. And not that it's a hostile environment in Houston. Let's be real here. But I think the Chargers take care of Houston in the 4:30 window. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, as I predicted last week, Houston was going to get that 4:30 Saturday game. And sure as hell they are. The AFC South gets dumped on again. I can't disagree with a damn thing you said as much as it pains me. I think the Chargers are going to go in there and roll. In fact, they're one of my genius picks this week. It's Chargers -3. I think the Chargers are going to absolutely destroy them. I think Dobbins is going to have a field day. Houston's run defense stinks. McConkey, all of a sudden, one of the most underrated players in football. I mean, he might be the second best receiver coming out of this class behind Neighbors. And if you want to say Brock Bowers, but Bowers is a tight end. But McConkey has been absolutely amazing for them. And Quentin Johnson, 13 catches last week. He didn't drop a ball. Holy hell. It's a miracle. Good for you, Quentin Johnson. But when I needed you, you dropped the damn ball. You stink. But Harbaugh and the Chargers are going to roll all over Stroud. And yet, it's a sophomore slump. He has not been a good quarterback. He's definitely in the lower tier quarterbacks. And to be fair, once Diggs went down, he did lose his go-to guy, and that's when he started regressing. So I think that had something to do with it. But you could say on the flip side, it didn't hurt Allen, because Allen has absolutely no receivers in Buffalo, and he's still putting up numbers.
Yeah, as soon as Josh Allen lost to Stephon Diggs, you saw like elite special Josh Allen.
You lost me.
What'd you say?
Damn it. Did I freeze up? Hang on.
No. You're not frozen up, surprisingly. I see you moving. Me? Yeah, I got you. You got me. Do you not hear me, Phil?
Crappy internet.
Oh, Phil, you
suck.
I
hear you now. We're good.
Oh, Phil sucks.
Jesus.
And then your probably favorite game of the week, the shit on Schittsburg, blah, 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 blah. Steelers limp into the postseason. Mike Tomlin's special. They're back again. Yay. They're just over 500 again. Yay. They're just creeping in. They're heading off to Baltimore. They're 10. Oh, my God. It's 10?
Minus 10. Open at 8.5. 1 to 10.
Holy cow. That is insane. But, Ray, kiss my ass. No, I didn't get rid of the backdrop, Ray. I'm currently not doing it at my house, the podcast, and I usually do have my virtual background. The problem is my hat. It made it look like I had like a weird, like just a brim only. So I had to go to the all white background. So I had to get it out and about the hat. But anyway, I'm Steeler fan, Ray. Kiss my ass. I don't care about your Eagles. Blah, 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 blah. Hope you guys have Jalen Hurts this weekend. I really do. Be such a shame to see the Eagles lose to the Packers. Oh, anyway, let's stay on the Steelers here, Ray. Kiss my ass.
Yeah, let's go back to Schittsburg here for a second.
Yeah, so Schittsburg. Team's limping into the postseason again. I'm not surprised. I've said it before on the show. We're a delusional fan base. I don't know what to say. We're a delusional fan base. I thought this team was legit when they were 10-3 going into the stretch. I knew they were going to lose a few games. They had no Pickens. They had no Deshaun Elliott, who's been a very key player for them defensively. No Larry Ogunjobi. Missed Joey Porter Jr. one game. Like, okay, got it. I thought Christmas was going to be the game. They win. They're going to get back on it. This is going to be the team that I thought they were. And they got crapped on at home. Kansas City, it's like they didn't even show up. And then a game to head to the weaker opponent. Again, I don't think it would matter. I think if they were going to Houston, I think I'd still pick against the Steelers anyway, as much as Houston sucks. Steelers limping in. Tomlin special. I want this guy gone. I don't know what to say. Phil, you've shit on the Steelers all season. I know you're waiting to just chomping at the bit here. Go ahead and it's your time to shit on the Steelers. Whatever you say is not going to offend me. I know what they are. I want him gone. Please, someone just take my comment.
Hey, look, Tomlin's done a hell of a job with that team this year. Let's face it. That team is not good. There is no talent on that team.
Oh, I know there's no talent. No, there's no talent.
There's no talent. Don't sit here and tell me George Pickens is a great receiver. He's a bum. He would be a fourth stringer on Miami. That's how bad he is. Speaking of which, you didn't bring up Tyreek Hill. We'll talk about that later. I could see him in the silver, gold, and black for you. But Pittsburgh, terrible team. I said it from the beginning this year. They went on this fluke run. Fields went 3-0 for them. You're like, no, we still got to bring back Russell Wilson. You brought back Wilson, and was he 6-5? I think he's something like that. He's 500. I did read this week that Tomlin is going to play Fields a hell of a lot more this week. We'll see if it comes to fruition. But I find that interesting that he's going to start doing this in a playoff game. That's like almost a panic move. Will it work? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Baltimore is too damn good right now. I think Baltimore, they rolled all over them last time. I don't see why they wouldn't again, a month away with the same players. Nothing's changed. Henry's going to blow that team up. And it's a shame because I was hoping Pittsburgh wouldn't have to play Baltimore. I was hoping they would go to Houston, beat Houston, and then, give the Pittsburgh nation a little bit of faith, give it a little bit of oomph. Yeah, here we come. We're a great playoff team. We're this, we're that, we're everything. No, you're nobodies. That's what you are. You are garbage. Fresh garbage, baby. You're nothing. You're going back home after this week. You're going to get the snot kicked out of you in Baltimore, and then off to Cancun you go. That's right.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That was a lot softer than I thought you'd be because you are soft. Shocker. Mom, I am not a Debbie Downer. I'm a realist. By the way, if you saw the text messages I received Saturday night watching the game, Mother, there's another Debbie Downer in the house. It seemed like someone's new year, new fan. Better watch Dad. I don't know what to tell you. We'll head off to Buffalo, New York next. Denver Broncos get their way in, almost blowing their last wild card spot. They get their way in, and as a reward, they get to head up to Buffalo to face Josh Allen and the Bills. 1 o'clock on Sunday. I think they're going to get urinated on. I think this is going to be all Buffalo all day long. Welcome to the playoffs. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, welcome back. I think it's a reality check for them. Denver's kind of had that thing where it seems like they're a good defense, but like they're really not. When they played a good offensive unit, they've gotten lit up like the 4th of July. I mean, look what Jameis Winston did to them. Sure, I know they had the picks to win the game in the end, but I think they're going to get urinated on. All Bills all day long. Your thoughts on the game?
It's funny you bring up urination because, to quote that great Travis Scott song, what's it called? I piss on your grave. Right? Yeah, I urinate on your grave. The very first line is, I want to use your face as a urinal. That's what's going to happen to every Denver Bronco fan this week. Their face is going to be a urinal. They're going to get pissed on by every Buffalo Bill. This game is such a bore. It's going to be 34-0 by halftime, and Denver's going to be on the way home. They're going to be going to Cancun with Pittsburgh as well. Bo Nix, you had a nice year. You started off real slow. You came on in the end. There's hope in Denver. First time in 8 years that Denver's made the playoffs. Good for them. But it comes to a crashing halt on Sunday. There's the problem with too many playoff teams now in football. You have this big mishmash of games. Like only the 4 or 5 games is going to be decent, I think. But these other 2 playoff games are ass. Even in the NFC, Green Bay is going to get killed by Philly, right, Joe? Right, Joe Sliso? Fuck you, Joe Sliso. But yes, that's the problem with the playoffs right now. WildCard Weekend has too big of a gap, especially with 2 and 7. Both those 2-7 games are terrible. Green Bay's going to get destroyed. Denver's going to get urinated on. And even Pittsburgh, they don't belong in the playoffs. Who's a 6 seed? The Washington-Tampa game is going to be good. But you're going to have some terrible blowouts next week. Next weekend's the best weekend of football. I always said that. Divisional weekend is always the best weekend of football. But this weekend, you're going to have some good games. You're going to have some crap games. But Denver, you stink. And you won't make the playoffs again next year. You were a fluke this year.
Thank you, Phil. Now we'll head to the 4:30 game on Sunday, and you already teased it, and that would be the Eagles and Packers. A lot of question marks around the game with Jalen Hurts with his concussion still is not cleared. Kenny Pickett kind of banged up.
Love is banged up as well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he hurt his elbow in the game against the Bears. That is a pretty funny line. 4.5 for the Eagles. I can't wait to get to Beat the Genius.
Oh,
where we pick all the
4.5.
games.
I had him at 3.5. Wow, it went up.
Yes. So
3.5.
pretty interesting when we get to that. Buccaneers.
I think they're going to absolutely crush Jordan Love and Jim Slaney's Eagles there. Packers. Yeah, they had a nice little run this year, but unfortunately they were in the wrong division. They should have been in a different division. To be third place in that division, that's impressive. But the bottom line is they're an okay team. They're, Watson's out, although he's nothing special to begin with. Jordan Love's banged up. I don't know why he was playing last week. That made absolutely no sense. I mean, why some of these players were playing was just beyond my...
Well, seeding. If they won, they weren't going to Philly. I think they're trying to avoid going to Philly, and guess what? They still lost, and they're still going to Philly.
Right. But, no, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yes. If they won, I think they
was going to the Rams no matter what. Green Bay was locked in at 6.
No, they were not.
Yes. How the hell were they going to get to a 5 seed?
Them and Washington flipped. You realize that. Washington won with their backups anyway. Green Bay lost.
Green Bay's a 7. My bad.
Yeah, so Green Bay would have been heading to Tampa Bay. Instead, they're going to what's it called? They're going to Philly. Green Bay played their guys hoping to avoid going to Philly.
Yes. So, yeah, and I don't blame them. I guess I would have too.
And they still lost, so it was a great job by Green Bay. So the other game, Sunday night, probably the best game of the playoff weekend. That'd be Tampa Bay hosting the Washington Commanders. Spread is 3. Again, we'll get to a little bit more on the spreads here in a few minutes as we get to Beat the Genius. But exciting weekend to see Jaden Daniels in action. Man, after seeing Tampa just escape, I got it was a division opponent in the Saints, but like Spencer Rattler sucks. I feel like everyone's falling apart in that Buccaneers secondary. I got to tell you, I really getting interested with that Commanders points there.
I'm taking Tampa. I think Mayfield, he's had a hell of a year. I mean, you really could throw in some MVP votes. He'll never get them, but
he's throwing out MVPs to all these freaking guys. You're throwing out MVP awards to all these players. What are you doing, Phil?
Votes. The MVP is Allen. I hate to say it, but I would give some to Gibbs. I would give some to Barkley. I would give some.
Yeah, I know. You have way too many to give for many great players. That's the NFL. Congratulations. I guess you forgot the Triple Crown winner and Jamar Chase. Like, kiss my ass, Phil. This is why, someone's got to keep you in mind.
MVP. Why would you give him the MVP?
Triple Crown winner.
Who
Jamar
cares?
Chase. Oh,
he's a Triple Crown winner. Okay, is he in the playoffs? No. So who
his
the
defense
hell cares?
Because his defense sucks. Anyway, Phil, all right, what else on the Buccaneers?
No, you made me lose my train of thought. The hell with Tampa Bay. They're going to lose to Philly next week anyway.
We head to Monday night. We head to Monday Night Football. Final game of WildCard Weekend. Vikings, Rams, Monday night. I think Minnesota gets the win. I think the Rams, I don't know what the freak the Rams are. Their defense is kind of shoddy, especially the secondary. I think Minnesota gets a big win, and we'd, I believe, get a rematch possibly in the following weekend for the third time with the Lions if they do win. But again, I think Minnesota wins Monday night. Your thoughts on the game before we head into Beat the Genius here?
I disagree with you because I think the Rams, they got to rest all of their starters, and I think that's going to be huge for them. While Minnesota played in the slobber knocker for 3 quarters. I mean, it was finally over by the 4th quarter, but they got the hell beat out of them. They had to play on Sunday night. And, they get an extra day of rest, I guess, playing on Monday night. It is going to be a good game. Brian Flores in a big spot has always shit the bed. I expect no other reason for him not to do it again this week. Go LA.
Well, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, and that would be the only Beat the Genius, Phil. We'll go in order. We'll do a pick by pick here. I think we both agree on the first one on the LA Chargers. So we're taking the LA Chargers.
Yeah, both taking the Chargers.
I believe for the both of us. And we are going to pick every game. So those keeping along with Beat the Genius, Make sure you're picking every game. Drop it in the comments. I will update everything next week because I only did me and Phil's for this week. I still have to update the rest of the standings from week 18. I will be doing that. I will update it next week. I know I'm 28-19-1. Phil is 23-24-1. So I still have my nice cushion on Phil. We both went 2-1 this weekend. But again, we are both taking the Los Angeles Chargers at minus. What do I have it again? I have it at -3. We're both going LA -3. Phil, I know you're probably jumping all over the Ravens here over Pittsburgh. Your thoughts on the game?
I mean, what's there to really think about? Lamar Jackson's playing at a high level. Derrick Henry's going to steamroll over that terrible Pittsburgh defense. George Pickens is going to drop another 3 balls. The only thing that's going to save them is Fields. I think if they put some trick plays in for Fields, they'll stay competitive. But other than that, I mean, what the hell has Russell Wilson done in the past month to really impress me? He's done nothing. Baltimore, give me the -10. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I'm also taking Baltimore. This team sucks. I'm delusional. I don't know what else I'm going to tell you folks about the Steelers. They're not good. It is what it is.
Yes, the Chargers. I agree.
Yeah, Cliff, we're all over the Chargers here. By the way, Ryan Fiore, very ironic. You were hitting the panic button after the Steelers beat you that first time, boy. Here come all the Ravens fans magically out of the closet. Finally, Lamar plays well against the Steelers. You Ravens fans are funny, Ryan Fiore. But good to see you in the chat, buddy. Appreciate it. And yes, I do think your Ravens shit on the Steelers on Saturday.
Let's go, Ryan!
Well, we head to Buffalo. I think we're both on this game as well. Buffalo -8.5. What says you?
Oh, Buffalo. Like I said, Denver's going to, be urinated on. Be what's that word? Defecated on. They're going to need a bunch of toilet paper to wipe themselves off after this game. It's going to be terrible.
We're going a little out of order here because this is what ESPN's bracket has it on. Rams Monday night. -1.5. You taking the Rams or the Vikings?
Rams are +1.5.
Correct.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I meant. My mistake. Yeah, they're
that's all right. No, I love the money line on the Rams. I'll take them to win straight up. I think Minnesota got beat up, and Minnesota usually shits the bed in the playoffs. In big games, they usually no show, and I don't see any reason why they would show up here. They got beaten up. They got to fly all the way to LA. The Rams had rest. There's no reason why the Rams should lose this game.
Wow, there's our difference right there so far in picks. Now we head to Tampa Bay. Buccaneers -3 over the Commanders. What says you, Phil?
I'm definitely taking Tampa. Baker Mayfield, that Tampa crowd will be excited. Daniels will have his moments. The game will be close, but I still think Tampa pulls it off in the end. I mean, Mayfield has made a believer out of me. All these receivers that have gone down for him, and they come back. Mayfield comes back. I'm sorry, I got a sore throat. Mayfield comes back, and he's making everybody look good, including that clown who got his 1,000 yards last week, acting like he won the Super Bowl. What a jerk off he is! What a disgrace.
Mike Evans getting the stats.
Yeah, jerk off. I refuse to say his name. That was so disgusting what he did last week. Caught a 4-yard catch, high-fiving everyone because he got $3 million.
You'd be doing the same thing if you won $3 million. Sorry to tell you, Phil.
No,
out of all people, people, you'd be jumping up and down. By the way, he made history. Wasn't this for the $3.5 million? Another 1,000-yard season. I think he has 10 in his career. It's a Hall of Fame career for Mike Evans.
Asterisk 17 games. I don't want to hear it.
Jeez.
He needed 17 games. Just like if Barkley broke the record, he needs 17 games. I don't want to hear that. That don't mean nothing.
I know, so old school. And then last but not least, Philly.
If this was baseball, you'd be saying the same thing.
No one cares about baseball. Go Yankees, though.
That's right.
Philly, final game of the week. Philly -4.5. I'm assuming you're going Eagles with the question mark of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
What says
I don't care who the hell's quarterbacking. Barkley's going to have a field day. Pickett has shown he has played well. Love is hurt. Watson is out. That Philly crowd is going to be rabid. I'm sure Ray Trimble is going to be there screaming his head off. I see no reason why Philly loses this game at all. They blow him out. Jim Slum stinks.
And again, we'll touch on it for a minute here. College football playoff Thursday and Friday. Penn State, Notre Dame Thursday. Drew Aller's kind of been the talk of the town as far as quarterbacks go in the playoff, outside of Will Howard, Quinn Ewers and company as well. Riley Leonard, I don't know if he does it for me. I know he was important with his legs in Notre Dame's win. Thursday, I feel like it's a snooze fest. I feel like it's going to be a tight. If you like gritty football, that's Thursday night for you with Penn State, Notre Dame. It's going to be a tight defensive game. I do think Penn State wins. I think they're both fraudulent teams. I don't love Notre Dame. They've usually had the crap losses. And same thing with Penn State in a big spot. But I do think Penn State wins and advances to the college football playoff final. They got to fix this system because they gave them a cakewalk to the final, or at least to the semis at least. Well, Notre
Dame's Notre Dame's nothing great either. I mean, does anybody really care about college football playoffs? Nobody's really talking about it. Everyone talks about 1 versus 2 or even the 4-game setup, but this 12-game, it's been a mess from the get-go. They put the wrong teams in. It's been an absolute bore. You're telling me these are the 4 best teams in college football right now? There's not a chance. The playoff system has absolutely destroyed college football, and you're going to see it in the ratings. The ratings have not been good so far because nobody's watching it.
I think you're going to have good ratings. I think you're going to have good ratings Friday night, and Friday night would be Ohio State, Texas, Will Howard, Quinn Ewers. That's probably the best game that you've gotten in the college football playoff so far. I think Ohio State's a team to beat.
I think
Texas should show up in like a funky uniform in the maize and blue there on Friday night. Maybe to throw off Ryan Day. I don't know who's stopping Ohio State outside of Michigan.
It's a little Michigan reference for you people out there who don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know who's stopping Ohio State if it's not Michigan. I really don't know.
Nice win over Alabama.
Thank you. Great season for Michigan for having no offense. It's great. Oh, and now we have Bryce Underwood coming in. Oh, can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, let's stay on the football playoff. Friday night, what are your thoughts on Ohio State, Texas? This probably is your national championship game, to be honest, as hype-wise.
It's definitely the title game because the other 2 teams are absolute garbage. I think Ohio State is going to be coming down off a major high, off of beating Oregon, and Texas was in a slobber knocker, and they're going to wake up and realize, oh, we can't screw around anymore. And they have a lot more talent. They're faster, they're stronger. Ohio State has a better defense, but I see Texas pulling it out. I see Notre Dame pulling it out because Penn State is another team that always likes to fail in a big spot. They haven't played anybody good. Not that Notre Dame's that much better because their schedule is absolutely shameful. And for them to get into the playoffs was an absolute disgrace. But, yeah, like I said, no one's really talking about it. I know we're the Northeast, but where we don't talk about college to begin with. But all around the country, I don't hear many people talking about it. And I think it's going to hurt college football in the long run.
Yeah, they're going to definitely have to fix this, and that's going to be something else we talk about once football season ends. But, again, we have big games this week, playoffs for both college and the NFL. Can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. Beat the Genius. It is all the games. It is not just 3. So make sure we Beat the Genius. We already got Ray Trimble in there.
Mike Power, Penny Warren, all the games.
Make sure all the games in the comments, folks. We'll be back again next week, Phil. Hope you have a great birthday and a great party there Saturday for you.
I hope you're here Saturday night after Pittsburgh loses.
So, again, appreciate everyone. I'm Colton. That's Phil. This is the Personal Foul Podcast. We'll be back again next week recapping the college football playoff. We'll be recapping the NFL WildCard Weekend and any other big news around the world of sports. We'll be sure to touch on it. Appreciate everyone. We'll be back again next week.
That's right.